All right, you guys, welcome to another episode of Unapologetically Her, the podcast that's for her, by her. And for today's episode, I am joined by the lovely, beautiful, business savvy Miss Roushelle Reign, honey. Yes, just look at her. Yes. And today we'll be discussing business, Black women in business, entrepreneurship. But go ahead, introduce yourself.
Hey y'all. Hi, my name is Roushelle Reign. I am a brand, web, and experience strategist and designer. Kind of a mouthful, but they all go in together. I have a background of dance of maybe like 25 years, professionally trained. And I'm a former Miss Canada, so I'm into pageantry, I'm into modeling. Overall, I'm just a creative director, y'all.
Yes. What a girl of many hats and talents. That's what we need, honey. Just give a round of applause. How you been?
Thanks.
You say it. Pretty much how I met Roushelle. You know, back in her retail days. I'm still in them days, but back in her retail days. Coming up, just young Black women just have a vision for themselves. Mm-hmm. And to kind of see it all come together. Girl, I'm so proud of you.
Thank you, but I'm proud of you too.
Yes. So tell me, before we jump into the whole business topic, how are you handling right now social distancing, COVID, just this pandemic?
It doesn't bother me one bit. You know me. I've always been a loner. I've always been distancing.
It was just me.
No, working from home is my regular everyday life, so it really doesn't bug me much. I think the only thing that bugs me, I can't go to physical therapy, and I can't go to yoga class. I can't get my neurals done. But those are just first world problems. Well, not physical therapy, but those are just first world problems, and they don't really count, to be very honest, because my yoga class went virtual, so I'm all good.
Yeah.
It does bug me in the sense of two of my biggest clients, they're huge events, like 10,000, 50,000 people events. So I am having to kind of reconstruct what they're going to be doing in the next couple of months, because they're not going to be able to host their events. So
I was about to say, like, it's already canceled.
Right. They have to cancel. One already noted that they've canceled, but because the other one is further down in the summer, we've had to, well, I'm telling them just cancel, but they're just waiting to see what's going to happen by June 1st. But it's going to be a cancellation,
right? Like, they already canceled as far up to Caravana, so you already know.
Exactly. And we're right after that event is right after Caravana, so there's no sense in doing anything at all, because there's no event that's going to happen this year.
No.
I think, it did affect my travels. So I was supposed to move to Portugal, Lisbon, last month. And then 2 days before.
Permanently move?
Like a move. Mm-hmm.
Tell the people that, first of all, this girl loves to travel. I'm not talking about, I'm going to travel to Jamaica, I'm going to travel to the States. My girl goes where, like, everywhere, like, the Black people think. That's, like, last on my list. What?
Yes, and then 2 days before I was supposed to move, the border shut down. And I was just like, pew, pew. And I was like, yeah.
Wait, I'm intrigued. What made you pick Portugal?
I went there for my birthday. So in January, I went to Morocco first. Loved it. But, I can't really do the one bag of dirt. But Morocco is amazing.
What?
And then I left from Morocco. I went to Lisbon. Love, girl. Like, everything, the food, everything. I was just like, I'm ready. I came back, not even 2 weeks later, I bought my ticket, I rent my apartment. I was ready to be out.
What?
And then this whole coronavirus thing. And then when I knew it was really serious, to the point of being like a plague, like a pandemic.
Yes.
My friend that I met in Lisbon, he owns 2 restaurants, and he had to shut that down. So when I saw that, I knew that it was just, that's it. Yeah. So I was just like,
I'm going to try again next year.
Girl, I'm just
waiting. Some eat, pray, love type thing right now.
Yeah, and I'm thinking of going back to Thailand as well. So we'll see which one I stick to.
What?
Yeah.
You know, I've been following the journey with YouTube, Facebook, everything. So I'm here. But when you move, I'll be really like, oh, what you doing now?
Yeah.
Ooh.
And a lot of my friends was gonna visit like May.
Yeah.
So everybody had to cancel their flights, everybody had to cancel everything. Like it was just
Oh, so you was ready.
I was ready. My friend was coming to pack. Like ready.
What? No, see,
Yeah.
I applaud you. Like again, like this girl, like mind you, she is 20s and already be like, okay, I'm gonna move like halfway across the world, business, everything on point. My girl, you see,
We're about that life.
we need you to come inspire the people them, please, please.
I'm crying.
Like, come teach the people them. But yes, oh my, yeah, COVID really did just kind of put the plug on everybody.
Yeah, and it puts a plug on a lot of weddings. I'm a bridesmaid in 3 weddings this year,
Oh
and
Lord.
it just kind of put the plug on a lot of them. So we don't know, none of them are gonna be able to be kept. So
No,
it's just whatever at this point. We'll just put everything off to next year. So,
God willing,
but everybody's
2021.
healthy, everybody's good,
Yes.
everybody is happy. I am happy. I'm just tired because we got lots of work, but and
That's
things
another
did
thing
not
too.
slow
The fact that you're
down.
still working, that's a plus as well.
Because a lot of
Yes.
people they're not in essential businesses, and
Nope.
I know of other designers they
Mhm.
have actually shut down their business because they have no business coming in and they had to end up doing something else.
Yeah.
So I mean, you got to be grateful for what you have. Like my clients were like, no, I want to continue. New people started, so
Yeah.
it's just a thing.
It's like if you have the means, then if you can keep a business running, keep people employed, yes.
Exactly.
Yep. It's a blessing now. Can't complain about I want to go work. I'm too tired now. You see? Can't complain. Nope.
No, you really can. You really can.
Yes. But before we get to the next, now you want to plug your businesses, your socials, let the people know where to follow you, how to find you, how to book you, honey. Cut you a
So
check.
everywhere it is Roushelle Reign or at Roushelle Reign, ROUSHELLEREIGN. If you spell my first name wrong, obviously you are not going to find me, but it will come one way or another. And my website is the same, RouchelleReign.com, and my email hello@RouchelleReign.com. Like
You
you
can't get it
can't
wrong.
miss me, you
You
can't get it wrong. But yeah, so if you want branding, web design, a strategic kind of consultation conversation, then I'm here for it.
Yes. Now I'm gonna make sure if you guys are watching this on YouTube, everything is linked down in the description box. You can even see her name at the side of the screen. If you are listening on Anchor, Spotify, Apple, wherever you listen to me on, then just kind of go over to my Instagram and I'll make sure to link. You'll see her picture and you'll see all her information as well.
Tune in.
Alrighty, Miss Reign. Now tell me. So we're talking about today, entrepreneurship, business, Black women in business, especially young Black women. So let's start off with what inspired you with this topic? What makes you think this is something people should hear about?
Because a lot of them feel as if they can't do it. I've had so much conversations with persons who are trying to, or who have thought about it, or even have the skill and talent to do it. Yes. But because we've been given this narrative that it can't be done because them not have no wealth or money and they're not in certain positions and so on and so forth, they dim their own light. And that don't make it, you know what I mean? So it's more of a thing where if you have a change of mindset, then you're able to accomplish certain things, or you're able to accomplish anything really and truly.
Yes.
So it really varies. It really and truly varies. And then on the other hand as well, there are ones who they may have started a business, they may have started a little side hustle, as we love to call them, and they're not doing it properly, because you don't have one way of doing things, but of course you have a way of doing things properly in your way.
Yes, a way that's effective.
They tend to do a lot of half-ass stuff. Me I do half-ass. So when them come to me, we just them up, right? and get them all the way together.
Yes.
So it really, I have a lot of conversations. Like, I make sure all my friends are entrepreneurs now. Like, they all have their own business now.
Trust me, you inspired me from the day we met, and I saw that you were even just thinking of the ideas, like the wheels are turning.
We gotta go.
I'm like, this is someone, whether we talk every day or we don't, this is someone who I still watch, and I'm like, this is what I need to be doing. This is inspo.
Yeah, because then you tend to, when I have conversations, and we've had those conversations over the years, when we have conversations, those ideas is like you flesh them out in a conversation. So a lot of the time, people dread having certain conversations, but it's great to have certain conversations.
Yeah, whether they're difficult or not.
Exactly. I mean, I'll take my cousin, for example. I have never met her in my grown life for me to have a memory. Met her last year, wonderful girl, really amazing. She's a mom, so it's older. You know me and the older friends already. And she's older.
Same here.
Right? And she was halfway studying to be a nurse. By the time I left her house, quit, opened her own business. Like everything. I took her to an entrepreneurial conference. Like, by the time I left the house, that was it. Like, that was her last semester, and she was never back.
House.
Like, conversations that she wasn't having with the circle that she's in. Because what tends to happen is that we put ourselves in these environments that keeps us in a box. And the moment we try to step out and be like, you know, I want to do something, they're like, no, you can't do that.
Yes.
But because they're talking out of fear and they don't know how to do it and they will never do it, that's why they think that you should be doing it. But I was just like, you need to get your life together. And she got her own little thing going on right now.
Yes. You said a key point right there, especially the people you have around you.
Your circle is everything.
Everything.
Like, your circle is everything. And you shouldn't even be the smartest person in your circle.
Yes, I've always heard that, and you're so right. I always want someone, I need to be able to learn from you.
Right.
Yes.
Like in my immediate circle that lives here. You know, me have circle in Jamaica. Me have circle. So in my immediate circle that lives here, me are the smart one in business, in creativity. Then somebody else is a smart one in communication. So everybody has their smarts that we have to learn from each other. You understand what I'm saying? So if they need to register their businesses, if they need to do certain things on social media or digital marketing, I'm the one that they come to. If I need to know about my skin or my this or my that, then I go to somebody else.
Yes.
Like, that's how we operate. So we feed off of each other's smarts.
Oh, which I love that.
What your friendship should be. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like, that's what a squad goal should be.
Thank you. Tell them again.
That's what a squad goal should be.
I'm sorry, but I feel like we're in this era, and that's the thing. Me and you have very, I would say, old school, old woman mindset.
Yeah,
we think business, we think long term. Old people, I just want to party, I just want to smoke and drink.
Yeah, no.
I'm like, so where's that going to get you? Not even a month from now, a week from now.
Yeah, no, we don't. I mean, I am not you know me already. I'm not the smoke and drink type of person. I will have one glass of wine ever so often.
Exactly.
Spread out months. However, you know, everybody has their own lifestyle in the smoking and the drinking. But like, I can tell you for sure, like, my crew is like, yeah, okay, cool. Me, I work on my business. I'm have a full-time job. Like, that's their thing. I'm the only one that's fully entrepreneurship.
Yeah.
Or entrepreneurial.
But you still had to take the steps, so you didn't just jump
exactly. I knew I gave myself a time frame. When I finished school, that was a point where me now work for nobody. Like, the day I finished school, the day I finished working for the bid, the day I finished working for everybody. And I was not.
Lies. My girl said, well, here's my resignation letter.
And they didn't even make me move. And they didn't even make me resign till 2 years after. Like, they still had me on everything. Until 2 years after, I'm just like, woman, now call me in.
You can keep calling me.
One call from Denise, and then I said, all right, me come because of you. And then we reach me and said, but what may I do? Yes, sir.
And then we text each other, are you in today? Oh, all right.
Right. And I think also because why I was okay with coming back to Denise is because she allowed that kind of, again, your circle, she allowed that entrepreneurial behavior to grow and expand and evolve, and she helps. So
she allows growth.
Exactly. Remember when she used to tell me, oh, Rochelle, the jewelry is all yours.
Yep.
I'm going to take care of jewelry on Christmas. Are you fried? On Christmas Day?
Yes.
Take care of jewelry, brother. So those kind of things are like really vital to growth as an entrepreneur. Like you have to have certain, you don't have to, but it's great to have certain experiences. And I'm not going to teach you everything at school. When I was in school, I was doing my course, I'm telling you, I was the only entrepreneurial one, and I was not taking nothing. I didn't take nothing from my professor. Them like, if you were not speaking my language, we were not friends.
One ear out the next.
One ear out the next, and everybody wanted to work for an agency, and everybody wanted to do this in an agency, and it's all about agency life. Me don't care. Me not work for nobody.
Nope.
And when we did the pitches, I'm like, I ain't doing no goddamn pitch. If you need me, you come to me. And that's how I do my business today. I'm not pitching you.
No.
I'm not pitching
My
you.
work speaks for itself.
Exactly. My work speaks for itself. So that kind of like made me knock heads with my program coordinator. And it wasn't until graduation day that he said to my parents, I wish my entire class was like Roushelle.
Yes, you challenged.
Everybody was running to get the agency life and this. I don't have no time for that. Me tell us me want to show up and work at 9 o'clock. When me roll out of my bed, I'm not come outside for nobody. I don't leave my house for less than $1,000. Like, no.
Hey,
Are you fried? You know how much for gas? You know how much for look cute? No.
Like, I hope you guys are listening and taking notes right now.
Not anymore. The full Roushelle, that was then. This is now. Right.
build all the way up, honey.
Yeah,
but actually,
you have to set your boundaries.
Yeah.
You have to set your boundaries. You have to set your standards. And it comes with growth. It comes with experiences, as I said, because before even you met me, I was all over the city volunteering. There was nothing women to go. There's not women to volunteer. So I learned the ins and outs. And that's why a lot of like hosts and stuff will know me, or like events will say, oh my God, Roushelle, haven't seen you in so long and stuff like that, because I used to volunteer. I used to always be involved. So I grew my community connections.
Yes.
So when I'm here now, I didn't get here overnight. And a lot of people think I got here overnight. I really did not.
You've been hustling and grinding, doing this stuff for years. And let me repeat, she's still only in her 20s. But you've been on that grind.
Been on the grind. Dang.
Well, actually, that's my question for you. Do you think people actually have to study business to start a business?
No. I did not study business.
What?
I never studied business. I studied creative advertising, so I can work in advertising.
But you never studied like the whole, like the marketing, the ins and outs, the analytics.
No. So analytics and marketing kind of ties into advertising, which I studied. So I was like, there is a certain thing from Google and certain places. I have those certifications. I don't use them. I don't want them. I'm not reading nobody analytics but mine. Are you fried? I use them for myself.
I'm my own test, so once I see this work,
it's for me. And I have friends who are like programmers, and not programmers, like actual digital programmers. So they do analytics, they do media buying. Like that's the kind of classmates that I have. But I did not study business.
No.
I just always had, I always have a thing for making money.
Exactly.
The money comes first. But I always can't tell you, oh, you're going to make that money then. How much you're going to make?
The hustle is what matters.
Yeah, it's just always kind of thing. But then you see, when you start, you're hustling. When you grow, you should not be hustling.
Yeah. Oh, yes. Okay.
Growth comes with processes, systems, all that kind of stuff. So coming into 2020, I don't even answer call. You can't call my phone. Are you afraid? What? You have to make an appointment through the link. Like, that's a structure. So when you're in the first part, you're trying to hustle, you're trying to do this, you're trying to make sure you know your ins and outs, you're trying to get used to the business, you're trying to get used to the structure. And you can make your own structure too.
Oh yeah. It's not really cookie cutter. It's
Exactly.
ABC. Sometimes it be ABD.
Exactly. So I made my own process. I do not like my phone ringing at all times of the day. And because we are creatives, and as a designer, like, I don't want to use it. I don't want to use the wrong word, but because I am like a brand manager in my client businesses, once they come here, they don't leave. So one of my client, she was scared that I was going to leave her alone. And we had a call, and I'm like, no, I don't leave you alone. You need to go figure out, because she's different. She's not a service provider. I do a lot of service providers. Yes. And I say, you're not a service provider. You're a product. So you go figure out your product. Your branding is already done. The hard part is done. Yeah. Figure out your product. Then you come back to me and say, Rush, let me book you for the next couple months. So I'm literally watching all your decisions for the next couple of months. So that also intertwines in all of this branding stuff. So when people think about branding, they just think about a graphic designer, but we're really one of the main crutch of your business. Because without us, you can't do marketing. Yeah, so it gets really intense. That's why I was so tired. It gets really intense.
Like, you're literally looking at the screen all day, the emails, the calls, you're like everything.
Yeah. And you have to think about all the strategy that goes behind all of that. All of that. So, like, you can't just get up and make a logo. There has to be a specific strategy behind it.
Yes. I can just get up, copy and paste, and be like, all right, we're done.
Exactly. That doesn't work. And if it works, rest assured, 6 months later, you're going to come back to say, I should have hired you in the first place. I've had so many emails like this.
Yes.
I wish I just hired you in the first place. I'm like, oh, well, I'm full right now.
But it's true, because everyone like to think about the money. Oh, but it looks so easy when she does it. So I bet you I can just do a little.
Exactly. Exactly. And it doesn't work like that. And I always tell people, just choose wisely. Even if you have to do it on your own, choose wisely. Yes. Because it will show. It will show if you're scattered brain or if you're very strategic about your stuff. It shows. It does. I can spot it from a mile away. Yeah. It shows. And remember when we were at the Bay, I was always loving certain brands, and I'm like, this logo looks so good. Ooh,
like when she was not looking at the clothes, like, oh, not the shirt's cute. My girl said the logo.
The logo, the brand, how they set it up, how they do this. I didn't care about the price. I don't want to know. I'm not buying it. It's not my style. But the logo, the branding, the marketing, my mind and my interest was always there. So once I see, and it's a thing now. If your marketing, branding isn't top notch, I don't buy from you. No, because that means you don't care enough. You don't care enough to the communication of your customers. So I don't need to buy from you if your branding doesn't look top notch. Exactly. And it doesn't mean top notch as in spend $10,000. It means top notch as in strategic, clean, very to the point. If you're not together, I'm not buying it.
Because, like, if you care about how you present yourself, then you care about how your product's made. You care about your customer service. You care about all aspects of your business.
Exactly. Exactly. That's how I see things, and it's always been that way. It's just that I didn't pick it up like when I was 18. I didn't pick up like that's what I was doing. I wish I had picked it up at 18. That's one of the biggest things.
Can you imagine?
Ooh. But you know what? We have to go through certain journeys to get to our destiny. So it's all right.
It goes back to one thing. It never just dropped in your lap, like you said. You had to do the work. You had to climb the ladder. You had to have that part-time, that full-time. You had to volunteer. You went to school. You didn't just get born into business and be like, okay, well, run me my money.
Well, kind of, yeah. I was born into marketing. But it's different when you're born into it. Sometimes you don't really take to it, or you don't realize that you're into it as much as you are until you get older, and then you start choosing. Because remember, dance was always my first love. Like, dance was forefront before everything else. So I'm working on 2 full-time jobs. plus I'm working part-time with you, plus I'm going to full-time school. Then I had full-time dance. Remember, I had dance every evening after school. So it was like always forefront.
Yeah.
You got to know how to balance your innate abilities and your innate talents and stuff like that.
I see what you mean. You have to priorities.
Yeah. It changes. It shifts. It evolves.
Okay. Well, my next question for you is, what do you think the biggest misconceptions of starting your own business?
That it costs a lot and that you need a lot. Like, so you cost a lot and that you need a lot of resources.
Yes.
And that there's a lot to do. So sometimes you want to just think about what comes easy to you. And then you're able to say, okay, how can I structure a business to use my talent to grow, like to make money?
Oh.
And you find those different strategies.
Yeah.
That's how I look at it. So to start a business is not hard.
No.
And it also really depends on where you are. And sometimes when I read this somewhere, and she said, sometimes the business that you start is not the one that you're going to finish with. The business that you start is sometimes not the one that you're going to finish with. So she started with doing resumes.
Yeah.
And she ended up being like a business strategist, a business coach.
That's like a whole job.
So she transitioned. So she learned certain things. She learned certain processes. She learned what people are looking for, what jobs they're looking for. Now she has global clients who she's a project manager for, and all different timelines and all this kind of stuff. You have to know where you're going to end up. I've always known I'm going to be a creative director. I'm not going to be sitting around a computer designing a logo forever. No. This year alone, I've had to minimize my menu. So my service suite only consists of like experience design, web design, and logo design. I don't do flyers unless you're already a client.
Yes.
I don't take flyers. No, ma'am. I don't even like doing, I don't like touching other people's logos. Out of respect, one, and out of two, you should have known what you wanted.
Ooh. So like if they hired someone else to design it and then now they want you to redesign type of thing?
And now they want me to fix it.
Oh.
Fix it. No, let them fix it.
Oh.
So there's a lot of pieces when you're starting your business. Try to learn from other people. Try to learn from even people outside of your industry, because then you'll know the hoops, the obstacles that they had to jump over, get through, all that kind of stuff. And you'd be like, maybe one day I'm going to stumble into this and I can deal with it like how she dealt with it, or I can twist how she dealt with it and deal with it in my way and fill the gap of how she deals with it.
Oh, I hope you guys are listening and taking notes. I really do. Like my mind is just, whoo.
You're like, yeah.
Honey, the green lights are flashing. Like, go, baby girl. Like,
yeah. So it really opens your mind to quite a few things, and you really just have to know where you're going, what you want, and what you want to do in your business, and how this business is really going to help you in the long run.
Wait, so that's kind of like a side question. How do you know what to make a business out of? Like, how did you know, okay, I'm going to be a creative director, or I'm going to sell these products? Like, how does someone know what's for them?
You see, it's easy for me to tell you what's for you. I can look at you and tell you that, right? When you're doing it for yourself, I always tell people this. Make a list. Make a list of all the things you love to do. Then make a list of all the things you can do with your eyes closed. Then make a list of all the things you want to do that you love, that you can do with your eyes closed. Right? So there's 3 different lists. All the things you love, all the things you can do with your eyes closed, and then all the things that you would do forever in a sense, right?
Yeah.
You would do, a good one is make a list of things you would do without getting paid.
Oh.
Without getting paid.
Without getting,
And then look at all the lists and compare them and see what is like the common thread, what stands out on every list.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah, that's one way to pick. And to, somebody said something to me, she's very spiritual, and she said, Roushelle, you're like an eye. It's like you pick the light out of people.
Yeah.
And then you blossom. So like, it's like you have to pick at your light. Yes. Until it blossoms. You know what I mean? Like, light don't blossom, it just shine brighter. But you know, mommy, flowers are light. When you shower on them.
Like, just don't take things for face value. Like, dig a little deeper. Do the work.
Deeper, right. Because I mean, I hated graphic design school. Oh my God. I hated it. I dropped out. Hated it. Like, hate graphic design. And you hate it, but yet look what you're doing. Like, hate it. And then that's the difference. I am not a graphic designer. I will never answer when you call me a graphic designer. I've ignored messages on comments. I've ignored comments that calls me a graphic designer. I've ignored it completely. Like, completely. Because I don't want people to get the connotation that they come to me for flyers. No. I build brands, baby. I build brands.
It's all about the title. It's all about the words.
Niching down. There's riches in the niches. Well, there's riches in the niches, baby. You ain't for everybody, and everybody ain't for you.
And you don't want to be.
No, you don't want to be.
Nope.
When you try to be that, you dwindle down your own light. It's like you stretch yourself so thin, you don't stand out for nothing.
No.
But those are the things to take into consideration when you're starting up your business, and choosing what you love and what you can do with your eyes closed.
Yeah. You have to have a love and a passion. As much as you want the money, you're not going to enjoy making that money. You're not going to enjoy putting in that work for the money if this is not what you're passionate about.
Exactly. Like, I mean, I have clients who they may, especially with COVID right now, they may need to scale back on, their branding, and they already started. Yes. But because of COVID, they've had to scale back. That's not going to stop me from completing the project.
No.
I'm not going to starve. My father cooked my dinner, my mother cooked my breakfast. I'm not going to starve. You understand? So, and I'm going to tell this to them. I'm not going to starve. So, we can wait until you get your finances right. Yeah. We're going to finish this project. We're not going to put it off. No. So, I'm doing a couple projects right now, and their payment will be deferred until next 6 months. Yeah. And then when those 6 months come, I'm traveling. I'm just collecting the money.
Cash the check and cash in flights.
And I'm not working. You know what I mean? So I look at things like that. I look at things in the long run. Yes. Let's be very honest. I can tell you, if I've had 10 clients over the past 3 years of my business, 9 of them are still with me.
Dang.
Yeah, like, they don't go nowhere.
Nope.
Like, sometimes I really want to block some of them, but I love them so much. But because we've developed like great friendships. Yes. And
it goes beyond I'm just your employee or employer.
Exactly. It really goes beyond an exchange of money for services and time. And we have the conversations that me and my clients have is ridiculous. When this whole COVID thing, the first shutdown started and everybody was, going haywire. Yes. I message all my clients and I'm like, join me tomorrow morning. They're like, what? I'm like, join me tomorrow morning. I sent them the link and everything. They logged on to a breathing class, like all about your womb and your stomach and your abdomen and your heart and your mindset. They were like, what?
Oh, what is?
Hold on. This is what I came to? Oh my God. I just said, be comfy. You don't got to be cute. You can come in your bonnet. Be comfy.
Quarantine fashion?
Quarantine fashion. And they were so appreciative of it because some of them were like, I think a few of them lost their jobs, their full-time jobs, and they were wondering what's next. So sometimes, even though my innate abilities are, design and fabulosity and functionality and stuff like that, I'm a humanitarian at heart.
Yeah.
So, like, everything I do will always keep other people in mind and other people benefiting and all that kind of stuff. So at this point, everybody has to kind of, either you're pausing, you're purging, or you're pivoting right now.
Oh. Can you explain
and I'm
the
helping
difference
others.
real quick?
So pausing is when you just stop.
Mm-hmm.
You just need a moment. You need to gather yourself, gather your business. You just slow down.
Yes.
Take some time. Purging is after you've paused, you're realizing what's working and what's not working. And you start to get rid of shit.
Yeah.
Just get rid of it. Whether it's your life, your business, your foot, your tour, whatever. You get rid of it, right?
It's true.
And that's purging. Pivoting is when you've already done all this work, right? To get clarity. You already done all this work to get some clarity. Pivot is when you're actually moving into a new direction or a refined direction because of your environment, because of what's happening around.
Oh. I'm sorry. We're like almost an hour into this podcast, if not more. If you guys did not take any notes from this, what is you doing? I'm literally about to go back and listen to this and be like, okay, what she said?
Take some notes. Take some notes.
Take notes, honey. Okay, let me give you a next one for you. Now, we're talking about entrepreneurship. You are a young Black female, and I like to emphasize that because we don't see this a lot. We don't have representation for this. So what challenges did you face or overcome, or are you still facing?
Still facing. You know, I'm a little bit in a body. So I'm very petite and and I can be very, very, very silent. I know silent river run deep.
Yes.
I've had to deal with big tumbling men and these are events. So picture me like a little twig talking to Goliath. I said to go over there. So those are some of the things we've had to deal with because I'm younger, but my voice is strong and what I say is very stern and strong. So because
she has a very dominant, like you're alpha female.
Right.
Don't let the little size fool you.
Not at all. So because I'm very young as well, especially when I'm dealing with certain clients, I've had to like rough them up. And I don't need to rough you. You're not 5.
No.
I don't need to, but I've had to rough them up because in their head it's like, yes, they're trusting me, but they're scared to trust me. And I do get it. It comes from both ends. It comes from the end of them having a young person telling them what to do.
Yes.
And then the other end is they've had so much graphic designers and brand designers and stuff like that who has ruined their brand. So it's hard for them to put everything in my hands.
Like kind of throwing that past trauma onto you.
Right. Right. So I had to really reel them in that sense. And then they get used to the fact that, oh, she just has my best interest at heart. Like I ain't got time for anything else. Like this is what we're doing. This is what we're doing. The other stuff is you tend to not get your foot into certain rooms quickly enough. Quickly enough. And I'm gonna say this, and y'all can shoot me anywhere y'all see me. But I ain't the clique type.
No.
And in this city, it's a clique city.
No, you are not the first to say that.
if you ain't in a certain clique, it's like you didn't make it. But Roushelle Reign, the house of RR, is a clique by itself.
Oh, I was thinking
and we
that.
will always stay a clique by itself, right? Mm-hmm.
Just screenshot that pose right there, so.
Right. So that's a thing. That's a thing here as well. Especially us as Black entrepreneurs. There's a cliqueness to things. Competing for no reason. There's competition for no reason. Like I can tell you, you know that cartel song was like, if me no shit them can It's like, and I know I'm being very transparent. I'm being very uncanny right now.
No, but this is let people know the truth.
It's the truth. Sometime, girl, like I will get up, I'll put together an idea, I'll post the idea, and you know I'm a silent river where run deep, so you're not gonna see it before me make you see it.
Yes.
I'm gonna do sneak peek on them something there. No. Or run like Beyonce, I just drop it on your one side. Right. It's just a bomb drop.
Bye.
And because I do certain things, 2-3 weeks later, somebody else did the same exact thing. There is that. There's a lot of that. I've had to go through it so much. I've had to go through people copying my exact work, people copying my logo, my RR logo that was made over 10 years now. People copying that, people copying like so much things, and I'm just like, there's no need, because everybody has their own style, everybody has their own thing. So I will be sitting here be like, damn, she brillianty, or she look goody, and you know, giving her compliments even though I don't know this woman. And then what I'm hearing, what they're saying about me, it's complete opposite.
Yes.
And I guess that's why lots of people, when they see me at events, they're like, you came outside. Who say, yeah, for sure, I want one dress, and I'm gonna go back in the yard.
Exactly. Everyone feels like they have to fight for the top, but like you're technically in your own lane.
Yeah, in your own lane.
One of you.
And all me up on my own mountain.
Yep.
I already reached the top. Sometimes I got it on the bottom. Sometimes I got it on the biggle. That's okay. Me up on my own mountain. Everybody has their own mountain, and you need to climb it or slide down it. That's your problem, and that's your business.
Yep.
So those are the things that we fight as Black entrepreneurs here, as a Black female entrepreneurs as well. We don't have the community of education, the community of like, you've seen that I flew to Atlanta. And I went to Summit 21, and I went to BYOB, and we don't have them something in here. Everything here is all about female empowerment. Yeah. Oh my God. Then I was time for them something there. Me want to learn a little bit more about the business. Tell me also make sure my finances in order. Tell me how to make sure that my marketing is in order. When you're at those events in the States, and that's the difference between here and the States, we tend to be very superficial and surface, and they have it too there, no lie.
Oh no.
They do get down to the nitty-gritty. Them get down to the nitty-gritty.
They know how to turn that superficialness into a business, honey.
Right. I don't have the time for the surface, and you're going to the same event with the same people, with the same panel. Like, I don't have the time for them some day.
No.
I need to experience different things, and that's why I travel so much. Yeah. Because I want to experience something different. I'm always home.
Expand
your
mind.
I'm always working. I always love to expand my mind. When I went to Summit 21, let me just like, I'm getting goosebumps. Let me explain to you, okay?
Yes.
You walk into, say, Metro Convention Center, and all you saw was Black women.
I'm loving it already.
And everybody dressed to the T. Nobody not have on a damn sweatpants and TNA tights. Everybody dressed to the T. Jumpsuit and, you know, flary dress and funky hairstyle and all these different things.
Like, they came to impress, like it was an interview.
I was just like, and somebody touched me, they're like, girl, I love your dress. I'm like, oh, I love your dress. The mental space was different.
Yes.
Completely different. And yes, you can say that, yes, I have design competitors in the States. When you looked at that event, all 5 of us were sitting together. Oh my God, girl, I love that design that you did. Oh, text me. Here, you ain't getting that.
No.
You ain't getting that. Summit 21, I met 6 designers that really inspires me. I inspire them. You know, up to this day, we still talk. That was like a year ago.
That is sisterhood. That is, we are not in competition. We're on levels, but we're going to help push each other. We support because we know we still have our own clients. We have our own business. We
Everybody
have
different.
our thing, but that doesn't mean I need to hate on yours.
Exactly. There's riches in the niches. Not everybody's going to do the same beauty bloggers and speakers, and you don't need to put down somebody else because that's what they do. I don't do nothing outside of entertainment, fashion, personal brands, lifestyle brands. I don't do anything outside of that. No. But that doesn't mean that because you're doing government contracts means that you're more than me or means that I'm more than you. No.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And somebody asked me this question last night. They're like, Roushelle, why don't you put celebrity designer? And I'm like, because I don't want to be a celebrity designer. That gives you a negative connotation as well. It's like, that's all you think of. That's all you know.
Yes.
No, I'm a design for anybody in my niche, right?
Yeah.
Who is my ideal client. So all these different things, it really defines you as an entrepreneur, as a business. And then when you look at things too, it's like a lot of people know, they're like, oh, I want a black. Sometimes I get a message saying, I'm looking for a black female designer.
Yes.
And they don't want anything else outside of that. If they get a black male designer, cool. But some people right now, they want black female designers. Yeah. I've had an incident, I think it was earlier this year. I was supposed to do a workshop and did all the communication, give them the outline of the class, all that kind of stuff. And I'm like, wait, hold on. Isn't the workshop next week? And I haven't heard back anything yet. Oh. And we've been talking like maybe 2 months. Yeah. Talking back and forth. All of a sudden, I'm like, wait, hold on, pause. Something ain't right. I went, tried to contact them, nothing. When I went on their website, they already chose a white girl.
I'm sorry, what?
Who didn't have half the results, like in terms of client results, who didn't have half the results I had.
After
and
you did all that work?
They never even said, hey, Ro, we decide to go in a different direction. Because that's cool. As long as you let me know.
Exactly.
In a different direction, whatever. No problem. Cool. They didn't say anything at all. And I was just like.
That's so low.
I sent her, like, I looked at her stuff and I sent it to someone without saying anything at all. And all they said was, this is a lot of air. There's nothing of substance here. What are we looking at? I'm like, oh, okay. So you do get that. Yeah, you do get that discrimination. But it really doesn't faze me as it fazed a lot of other people.
You have to have a strong backbone.
Yeah, you have a strong backbone. I think the one thing that bothers me is the replication of my stuff. Like, I don't, like, if it's in a client and I'm walk on the road, cross the road, I walk the next side. Yeah. Leave them alone. You know me, I'm very protective of my clients. Like, I don't even share my client. You realize I don't really share my client work? No. I leave it for them to share because they purchased it. They bought it. That's theirs.
Let them attract their people.
Exactly. I'm okay with being in the back and, revving them up and whatever I need to do for them. But I am making sure that I'm coming back to the forefront now, which is another pivot, right? Coming back to the forefront with certain things. But it is difficult, but it's rewarding being a Black female entrepreneur. To be very honest, it's difficult, but it's rewarding.
Yeah. you have a little bit more hurdles that you have to jump. So once you actually finish the race, it's like, damn.
And because a lot of them, they don't do great work sometimes. So like I said, my clients will put that past. It's just like how we would say, how would we say it in Jamaica again? You can't use femme fat for fry another man. We get that sometimes. So they've had bad experiences with other Black designers.
Yes.
And because of that, they don't want to pay my price. They don't want to this. Sweetie, hello. You're at the house of Roushelle Reign. And this is a completely different ballgame.
Yes.
If you don't want to move forward, find the door.
Yeah.
The same way where you came in my email, you can find yourself out. I don't play them kind of.
Nope.
No, I don't. And I've had a lot of run-ins with Black men. Like, I've had a lot of run-ins with Black men. Black men have had to be fired because I came on board, which is not good. And it's because they were lacking the work. They were lacking, it's not experience, but it's like the delivery of things. Yes. And then when you come on board, you're just trying to do your job, right? You come on board, you're trying to do your job, and they're blocking you. But I haven't had a lot of those altercations at all. I've had like one and few. But yeah, it's a journey. It's a story and a journey all on its own. People want me to blog about it, but that's not my thing. The vlogging about whatever. If you ask me, no problem. I would definitely tell you, definitely have a chat about it.
Yes.
But I'm not the type to air people's dirty laundry. I'm not that vibe.
But this way, if people ask you, just refer them to this video. See this? Here's all the information you need to know.
This is the juice, not even the tea, the juice, the bubble tea, right?
The whole jug.
Right. So, I mean, you have to have a strong backbone. You have to know, you don't always know where you're going.
Yes.
But you should always have a why and a purpose. Like me, I'll make sure to say, at least by the time I'm done, I say I'm going to retire at 40. Me want at least 75% of the Black businesses in Toronto to look better, to structure better, and to be better. That was my main thing here. Me not do for the hype. I've designed for artists. I've designed for, big events and rated here, whatever. Cool, fine. You can spot my work from a mile away now. Cool, fine.
Yes.
What I'm really caring about is how they are giving the experience to their customers. Because if that's not good, then it makes no sense.
Nope. Ariana Grande, thank you next.
Like that. But yeah, so I mean, it's just a whole entirely different world most times. And even though I wouldn't say I'm just a creative director, I'm just a brand manager, I do have to walk my clients through some of those hurdles and obstacles at times. You have to rub their back, you have to hold their hands. And trust me, 4 of my big clients, they do the same for me.
Yes. It's a partnership.
It's a partnership because they're older, right? And they know everybody and they've been through certain things. And if I'm going to partner with a new person in the sense of somebody's becoming a new client, I know exactly who to call to get the rundown of their file. And if their file doesn't align with my file, sorry, thank you for contacting Roushelle Reign, but we're booked until the next 15 years. Bye.
Bye. Peace.
That's basically what it is.
But why waste your time?
You don't have to stress. You don't have to do anything. Set your boundaries. A big thing as a Black designer, set your boundaries, set your levels, because many of us don't even know if it operates more than a patty shop. Call it. Even though patty shops are very, lucrative, there's a patty shop mentality. People come out there, you fling it, get them, and they're gone. You can't do that.
No.
We need to build more customer relations.
Yes.
Levels to this.
Levels. So if people ask you, what are your, I would say top 5 to top 10, but I'll keep it simple. Your top 5, I would say, points that people need to know when starting a business, when going into business. Just your top 5s. You need to know this. Keep this in mind.
Know what you're about.
Mm-hmm.
That's the first thing. Know what you're about and what your business is about.
Yes.
Know your industry. Know your industry, your market, and your audience.
Oh.
Industry, market, and audience, because my 3 different things, right?
Yes.
I would say move with strategy. Move strategically. Yeah. Always know why you're doing something.
Yes.
There's always a method to a madness. Always.
I can see that.
But we're going 3.
That was 3, yeah.
Then align yourself. Find a center, right? Find your center. Find your grounding.
You feel like you can talk business after this. Keep going.
Right? That's a huge thing. You see, when you're off your center, nothing operates right. Yes. I'm telling you, nothing. 2020, me no my center. 2019, I was on and off. And you could see it in how I expressed myself. You could see it. If you knew me really well, you could see it in how I expressed myself. But nobody really knows me really well. Right? So that's a thing. So always have a center. Partnerships. Make sure you know the person or the business or whatever it is on different levels before you enter partnerships. It doesn't have to be that you both own the business. It could be like you both have, separate businesses and you're coming to collaborate on something. Make sure it really and truly aligns with what you're doing, because I'm tired. People call my phone and cry, say somebody teach them things because they partnered up. I'm telling you, partnership and alignment is 2 huge things. Yes. So those would be my top things. Like the other stuff, it's generic. Everybody will tell about it, and finances and this and that. These are core things as well. Yeah, these are things that you have to dig deep for. Exactly. You know me, all about digging deep. The surface business. Nope. I want to jump in it like ocean. Into that deep end. You can draw me sorry for you. Exactly.
Now, my last question for you is, who was your biggest inspiration for you to like start a business, getting into the business industry?
I'm gonna be really honest. Yeah. There was nobody that inspired me. Wow, there was nobody that inspired me to start a business.
Oh, see, this was God's calling.
Yes, it was God's calling. There have been people that inspired me along the way to how I structure my business, how I operate my business, certain things like that. I've had a mentor who I lost 2 weeks ago.
Yes, my condolences.
Thank you. The goosebumps. So yeah, right. So all those things, but oh my God, my hair. But nobody really inspired me to start a business. I knew my mom had a little side business and hustle business, selling clothes and shoes when she was a marketing manager at Pepsi, and that was fun to see. Yes, but it didn't prompt me to start. You know what I mean?
Like oh, I see what mom's doing. I'm gonna do this now.
Exactly. I just no say. I'm not gonna work for nobody. I'm not show up at nobody office in no heels and suits every day. 9 to 5. Driving a truck. Nope. Me just no say that was not going to be me. But don't want no rules.
So like people can show up to your office, but you ain't going nowhere, honey.
Right. I don't want to do that. So that was a huge thing. I think it just unfolded itself. And I can tell you, when I was in grade 7, you're Jamaican, but you're not raised in Jamaica. So in grade 7, we have this thing where we have this book, and it's all about our dreams and this and that. And on a page, you write out your name, your age, what you're going to do in the future, and all this kind of stuff. And the same exact stuff I wrote down then is the same exact things I'm doing now. A friend of mine, she has the book. She was the carrier of the book. She has the book, and she lives in New York. And
you manifested.
She messaged me 2 years ago. She sent the picture to me, and she's like, Rosh, guess what I found? Oh my God. And she sent it to me. And I said, Jesus, please. Me, I do everything. Every single thing. Said I wanted to do a pageant. I wanted to be representation of a country. Instead of it being Jamaica, it was Canada. I wanted to host my own pageant. I've been doing that for the past 3 years.
Yes.
I wanted to have my own clothing business. I did that for a year. I did fashion shows for 2 years. I've been planning other people's fashion shows. I wanted to be a creative director. Them time, they didn't know what creative director is. But just know me want to be a creative director. It's a director. So it seems like I'm going to be in charge. I just wanted to be in charge.
Yes.
And look at me today. I'm a creative director. So it's like everything really just came into place.
You need to write a book before you hit 30. Write a book.
Said that. But when I say please, I design a few books, and trust me, they're too tedious to me. I don't mind having videos, and I think I was going to share. I've written it down, and I wanted to do like a whole series talking about becoming Roushelle Reign in a sense. Like, look at them becoming Michelle Obama. Right.
But I go Roushelle Reign.
Right. So
good body girl. I can relate to her.
Good body, right.
Good body girl. Her body girl.
So
hello, Spice.
Long time those things have been coming into play, and sometimes we don't see our own future, but we may be operating in our purpose and not realizing, because at the end of the day, even when, because remember at the Bay, and the two lady them that don't buy unless I'm there, and the guy that always come back in the jewelry section when I'm there to shop for him wife, and he don't shop otherwise. So it was always this thing that I had where me and the customers just always have this like a relationship.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? And remember when the guy used to come and I have to dress him up because he don't know what to choose. So it's another element of branding, because up to today, I've had like this big photo shoot with my clients a couple months ago. And
that was beautiful. I saw that.
Girl, thank you. Like, I chose everybody's outfit.
Yes.
Like I gave them an outline. They will show me what they have. They will show me what they don't have. All this kind of stuff. And we go through, a process. And when it came together, I love those things. I can brand you from head to toe. It not have to do nothing with logo. It really has to do with the presentation of yourself and your business. So, business just came to me. Like I just.
Yes.
We're just flourishing at it. You know what I mean? And I've had failed moments. Things have failed. Things I put on like
natural.
I put on the pageant right now. Maybe later on, I will do the overseeing. I will do the management, but I cannot do the day-to-day. With the girls and the this and that. Like I don't have the time for that.
Yes.
But I would do overall. We definitely have to carry me, because everybody keep asking for it.
Yes.
So stuff like that I will do, and it comes, but you're going to fail, and you're going to get
and
up. And
people need to understand you can fail, and that's okay. And I would rather you fail and then you say, at least I tried, versus
And I've had my own what would you call that? My own fight with failure. Like I thought that I was not supposed to fail at all. Like I can't fail none at all. And when I fail, it's like I went into like this depression, and I'm like, but I learned so much.
Yes.
And then you come out and you're like, you can apply it here and you can apply it there. So things that I've learned in the pageant industry, I apply it to my business. Learn it in dance.
It's not just a fail, all end all. Take the lessons from. There's no sense in fail.
It's not a loss. It's a lesson, right? It's not a loss, it's a lesson. So you have to take everything as it goes and take your small wins. I have a really hard time taking small wins. I don't account for them, like them not exist to me unless it's some big win. That's all I'm account for. But no, I am grateful for the small wins because the small wins make up my big wins. You know what I'm saying? So it's like all those little things. My small wins having, this client and that client. Me never know that my client was the one that was planning Afrotech and Summit 20. Me never know them something there. And that's also because I don't cross certain boundaries. If you don't tell me, I'm not gonna ask. Right?
Yep.
When I realized that, I was just like, oh, it's big people might have come a thing. So even I remember one time I asked somebody for help and they were like, you don't know who your clients are, do you? Because what you're asking for help with, your client is the one that owns it. And I'm like, what? We never know. Like, what? We never know that. Yes. So you operate in different capacities. And when you weave them all together, you become something so phenomenal. Like, so phenomenal. Like, yesterday I had a call and the girl was just like, I've been watching you for 2 years. She said, I send out 6 people to you for logo. I'm like, what? This girl is in the States. And I'm like, what do you mean?
Like, how can you find me like that?
And she's just like, I just been watching you. She was like, I was just waiting until I'm ready to start my business. I'm like, oh. So there's people out there that are watching.
Yes.
And you just may never know. My name has been entered into rooms that my heels haven't stepped in yet. That's a huge thing.
That's a real thing, people.
You want to do work that makes your name go into those rooms before you step in there. Because sometimes you step in another room and you might not ready for stepping there yet. You might not ready for be exposed to certain levels. So you have to take those things into consideration. And it just, sometimes it flows, sometimes it doesn't. And always invest in yourself, invest in courses, invest in whatever. What my mentor Kike taught me was that everything that you need is inside of you. And she always told me that. She's like, Roushelle, I don't know why you asked me for help, because you just lick a bit and you have everything. Like, you don't feel like big. Because you lick a bit and you have everything inside of you. Right? And she always said I was the small one to her. Because she had big hips. And the African woman there. Yeah. Like, sexy African woman there. Yes. Right? So she always say, you're just like a little me. And in Nigeria, Oga means boss. So I call her my Oga. And she would call me like Baby G. Big girls, right? And we had those last conversation, and she would always tell me everything you need right inside of you. You don't have to look no further. And now it's starting to register some more because she's gone. And because we spoke the night before she left. So it's like it really took a toll on me for the past month. So I've had to slow down. Yeah. You have to know in order to succeed, you can't always be producing. Sometimes you need to just take a stop, pause, reflect, do what you need to do. And also, you don't need to consume everything that's out there. That's a huge thing. A lot of people think they need to consume everything. You don't need to consume anything. You don't need to always be into everything. Like, I have my ways, and I'm pretty sure everybody picks up by now. I have my ways. Sometimes you don't see me post for months. Yeah. Right? I have my ways. And that's because you don't need to always be out there. Sometimes it's okay to be silent and work on your shit in silence. Work on your shit in silence. That's when things come to you like magic. Yes. Right? So it's a balance, really, being in business. But the word balance don't exist. No. It really doesn't. But it is. It's that flow. It's that flow.
Michael, you've been dropping gems after gems, some rose gold diamonds, just sprinkle it over the place. Like, what? Yes. Oh, like I said, and I'm going to repeat myself again, I sound like a broken record. If you have now been listening for almost 2 hours and did not take no notes, baby girl, what is you doing? Baby boy, what is you doing?
What is you doing? Come get yourself together.
Like, firsthand knowledge, experience, inspiration, facts. Like you getting everything from her right now.
Everything I need. I'm coming like a faucet. You just turn me on and turn me off.
Like
Yeah, but
y'all don't know how real this is. I love you. Like I appreciate you.
All the time. From a long time.
This has been still my big sis from long time. Been following her,
Long
watching
time.
her, a part of her for all these years.
Mm-hmm.
Girl, thank you for coming out to the podcast today.
You're welcome. We'll come anytime. Anytime.
Oh, I will come back to you 1 second. You guys, this concludes today's episode of Unapologetically Her. You already know. Thank you so much again, Miss Roushelle Reign, for joining me today. Any final remarks?
Be authentic. And I know it sounds cliche, but like drop what you think authenticity is.
Yes.
And allow yourself to be. Right now, I am who I am.
Yes.
And I eat that. And if you don't like it, drink a bottle of water.
What
like,
you see is what you get.
Allow your light to sparkle.
Mm-hmm.
That's a huge thing. Allow your light to sparkle.
I love that.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you. And thank you all so much for listening. If you want to hear from Roushelle again, or if you have any comments, questions, or podcast topics, hit us up on social media. You already know you can follow me at unapologeticallyher on Instagram, at unapologetic_UH on Twitter. And Roushelle, you want to give them your plugs one more time?
It's Roushelle Reign, ROUSHELLEREIGN.
Yes, and that is on all socials, honey, even her
All
website
socials.
name.
Mm-hmm.
Trust you can't mess it up. It's across
Not
the
at all.
board. Also, don't forget you can listen to the podcast on various platforms, and let me list them all for you. It includes Anchor, Apple Podcasts, Breaker, Google Podcasts, Overcast, Podbean, Pocket Cast, Radio Public, SoundCloud, Spotify, and last but not least, yes, there we go, YouTube. Once again, thank you all so much for listening. Hopefully you'll tune in for a new episode. Much love, peace.
I'm so proud of you.
Thank you so much for joining. Bye.
Bye.